Good morning, everyone. This is Tractor Man 44. Ain't everybody admits to being a registered abuser, but I think that's what I am. I think me and my son, we're both registered abusers. We should be anyway if we're not on that list. We abuse our tractors, we abuse our farm equipment, we abuse our industrial equipment, we abuse our trucks. We abuse everything around us except for our women. Of course, we treat our women very, very nicely. Well, because we know what side our bread's buttered on. But that being neither here nor there, a little bit of the abuse is evidenced by what we're having to do to this trailer. Whenever we build something back, we like to go back heavy. Sometimes it's to the detriment of whatever it is that we're working on, but sometimes to the good. Now, when we're going back, we're repairing it in a fashion known as overkill, building it just a little bit heavier than what it needs to be, and with a couple of extra doodads on it. That's probably not necessary, simply because of how much heavier we built it. But we're doing it anyway. So let's take a look. Well, you can tell by looking at it that we got the bottom side up. I actually turned it upside down simply because we've got the wherewithal to do it, and that way I don't have to lay down on my back and try welding overhead. I've done enough of that, don't like it. If I don't have to do it, I ain't gonna do it. And what we're doing is we're ensuring that no matter how much weight put on this, there's no way this can possibly collapse because we have made a trussed member out of the frame. Overkill? Yes. Necessary? Probably not. Had the iron sitting around in the junk pile, just rusting away, so we put it to use. We got to bend up the one for the other side and tack the other side in place. You never want to beat on cold iron if you can keep from it. And put a bit of an angle on it. What I'm using for this pass is a 7018 3/32 rod, running about 103 amps or thereabouts. I got to thinking, better not go much farther without a little bit of a disclaimer. Nowhere ever do I claim or have I made the claim that I'm a welder or a fabricator or anything like that. Matter of fact, I try to discount any degree of association with a knowledgeable portion of this segment of the trades as often as possible. Therefore, what I'm really trying to say is that this is not a how you do it video or it's a do-it-yourself video, but it's how I do it. It ain't how it ain't recommended for anybody to be thinking that this is the proper thing that they need to be doing. Now, like I say, I don't have a fabrication shop or anything. I just got a bunch of stuff around the property that I use to take care of problems that arise with myself and then a few other people and everything. This is the problem we just happen to be taking care of at this particular time. After this particular disclaimer, we shall proceed with the repair. I think I mentioned yesterday that I don't like laying on my back, especially out here in the gravel and all that, and trying to weld overhead. Just don't like it. Never did enjoy overhead welding. So whenever I can avoid it, I do. And so this particular case, I'm doing the overhead welding upside down. I just flat don't like laying on my ground welding overhead. This is that 3/4 inch plate we had to cut in a weird shape in order to go around the 6x6 that the hydraulic cylinder is going to attach to, that actually pushes up on the bottom of the bed in order to dump it. So this has got to be a pretty good weld. I made the other two laying on my back. This time here we're going to go ahead and put the final passes right here upside down. Not the best in the world, but it's a cap on the two previous welds, so I think it's going to hold just fine. I said we had the capacity to roll this, but I didn't say it was easy. There's so many things that can happen with things that are so out of balance and this physically large. You just really have to take your time, especially working by myself. This kind of like cutting down a tree. You know, whenever you're in a dangerous situation or something that could possibly, squish you, you got to have a mind made up what direction you're going to go at any given time if something happens. That's just kind of a safety disclaimer there. Like I say, this is not for the faint of heart. At no time was I ever in any real danger because I kept my eye on everything. And I have so many checks and balances on it, so many chain falls that were actually doing the work of actually catching it if it was to go one way or the other. There was never any real danger. I've done many things like this. This is probably one of the top 10 as far as being able to turn it comfortably. And it was comfortable. It was just labor intensive, as you can tell. But all's well that ends well. And you know what? This is Tractor Man 44, and we're out of here because we're done with this one for now.